Shakur and Devin being a boring fight, and I close it out on this. So a lot of people believe Shakur and Devin is going to be a boring fight, but despite what we've seen with them sparring in the ring, they sparring was pretty action packed. Now that could be because they had gloves on. I say this, I don't really think it's going to be a boring fight. I think it's gonna. If Shakur start tagging Devin, I think Devin is going to start taking chances versus Shakur Stevenson and trying to get Shakur Stevenson out of there. I think if Devin starts tagging Shakur Stevenson, I think Shakur Stevenson going to start trying to, get Devin, going to come back and hit Devin. I just think it's competitive. It's a competitive fight, and I think they competitors. They was homeboys turned rivals, and all of them was cool at one point. But guess what? They start negotiating. It's masculinity at some point. When they get older, it's just going, they're gonna be back cool. But sometimes, like Zab said, the relationship between Floyd and Zab, it changed after they fight. But that's because Zab did some sucker shit because he was about to get knocked out. But I think it's gonna be. I think it'll be a fight of the year candidate. Believe it or not. I don't think it's gonna be 1 + 1 = 2. I don't think it's gonna be two boxers in there trying to. I think I think they're gonna be a high level fight. I think it'll be a box for a minute, but I think it's gonna be a high level fight. And I believe if it's competitive and it's a sprint down the championship rounds, I think you'll see Shakur strap his nuts on. I think you'll see Devin strap his nuts on. I think you're going to start seeing people take chances. I think they're going to take chances, dog. I really do. I think people will be like, well, Devin a born fighter based off the Ramirez fight. Even in the Ryan Garcia fight after he got wobbled in the first round, he won like the next few couple rounds, 6, 7 rounds after that, 4, 5, 6 rounds after that, because he kept taking chances. People don't give Devin Haney credit. Devin Haney take chances. He got clipped by Linares because he took a chance. But then people said we should have knocked out Regis. And I agree with people who say that. But then when he took a chance, he got criticized. I think Bill and them listen too much what the fans be saying, in my opinion. But I think it's too much on the line for this fight not to be competitive. I think it's too much on the line for this fight. I mean, when I say competitive, I mean action. It's going to be action. I don't think it's going to be a faint fest or a click. I think what you seen in sparring, that friendly banner they had in sparring, like the friendly banner they had, it was cool at that point. And then you see really a fight break out, friends fight. Like if Shakur fought Keyshawn, they gonna fight. And which the aggressiveness you see with Shakur sparring Emilio Vargas, which I don't think he that good, respectfully. And I could be wrong, but you see the aggression that he kind of sparred with Devin Haney. Maybe he get that confidence with the headgear on. But I think versus Devin Haney, I think they gonna fight. Whether it's in round 6, 7, 8, 9, I think by the time you get to 10, 11, 12, it's a fight. If somebody behind it, they gonna have to fight. I think this may be one of the. I mean, even when you look at Devin Haney's career, ain't nobody really ever fought him. He never really had, like versus Loma. He had to fight his way out of, he had to fight his way down the stretch and really, fight his way. But for the most part, Shakur ain't never been in one of those fights. Man, what scares Shakur about Devin Haney is the reach. Shakur, when he go up there, the biggest thing is that he don't have an arm. He don't have an arm length. He don't have an arm length. That becomes a problem. He got to get on the inside of Devin Haney. And then even when he get on the inside and Devin Haney hold him, he probably don't feel strong enough. He don't probably feel like he can be strong enough to break out that clinch. That's the problem. Shakur breaking that distance. Shakur got a 68-inch arms and Devin got 4-inch reach. That's 71, and that varies. But that's the issue. Devin and them gonna break Shakur. That's their game plan. They not gonna sit there and probably, if they box Shakur, it's only gonna be so long because Shakur eventually gonna want to find that distance. I think they plan is the beat on Shakur. They know Shakur don't like to get hit. I think they're gonna hit Shakur on the wrist, hit Shakur on the elbow, shake Shakur on the shoulders, hit him on the hips. I think they past friendship. and with a little, just rival beef, competitive. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a real. I don't think it's gonna be like T.O. and Shakur. It ain't gonna be nothing like that, bro. There ain't gonna be nothing like that. This shit, these niggas are gonna scrap. They gonna scrap at some point for 3 to 4 rounds at the minimum. They're gonna fight it out. I'm telling you that right now. They're going to fight it out. You're going to learn a lot about each of them. They're going to fight. It's not going to be no situation. And the reason why the T.O. fight, T.O. don't have no feet, bro. T.O. don't have no feet. He jumped when he throw punch. Like, he jumped. Like, people say, yeah, you supposed to step with he jumps when he throw a hook. He jumps when he throw an uppercut. So he steps too much. So when he step before he take a big step before he throw his jab. He take a big step before he throw his jab. Shakur gonna eat that up. Devin got more lane, more athleticism, more reach, more skills than Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? And that's why T.O. didn't want to fight Devin. Devin had the range and he had the athletic ability. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said before, I think it's gonna be way more competitive than people give it credit for. I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think it's gonna be a really good fight. I think when somebody get touched, somebody gonna try to get their get back. And it's going to be one of them fights where Shakur Stevenson, if he going to win, he going to fight to a victory. He not going to be able to mail it in like he did with T.O. Even though he was on the front foot, he mailed it in. He mailed it in. They know when they fight other black fighters, bro. When they fight other black fighters, they know. That's why they price themselves out when they fight each other, because like when Russians didn't want to fight each other. Remember when Matt Korobov was on the doorsteps of fighting Triple G and he lost to who knocked Korobov out? Was it Andy Lee? I think it was Andy Lee who upset Korobov. They was like Triple G really wasn't trying to fight Korobov. That's why you didn't really took so long for, Better Biev to fight Dmitry Bivol or Bivol to fight. But Russians don't want to fight each other because they understand they're going to have to fight their way out. Other black fighters don't like to fight each other because when they fight these other fighters, they got a perpetual movement. They have a perpetual movement advantage over these other fighters. This is why they really don't like to fight the Cubans so much. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason the Africans not really in there because they don't have a lot of refinement in the amateurs. A lot of Africans get by off of, talent and strength. If the Africans had the skill set, they'd probably be on top of the black American fighters, to be honest with you. That's why black American fighters don't like fighting each other, bro. That's why they don't like fighting each other. I'm telling you that. That's why they don't like fighting each other, bruh. Because they know they got to pull out every tool. They got to try. They got to get their best. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you that, bro. But hey, man, that's all I had, man. Appreciate y'all. Stay black. Don't do crack.
I come to Jay Fritz gym. That's when I'm going to spar Shakur. But, man, nigga tried